Om Naguroradikam Tattvam Naguroradikam Tatpaha Tattvam Jnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om. This chant means there is nothing superior to the knowledge of Brahman, no truth higher than Brahman, no purifying austerity better than the knowledge of Brahman. Salutation to that Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Episode 28, Chapter 7. Introduction to Jnana, Vijnana Yoga. Chapter 7 is entitled Jnana, Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of Brahman and how to convert it to wisdom, to make it our immediate knowledge. In the last verse of chapter 6, Sri Krishna said that the most exalted yogi is one whose mind is totally absorbed in Brahman, Madgatena Antar Atmana. To understand what Brahman is, let us revise episode 6, the 36 tattvas according to the principle of Kashmir Shaivism, which was presented as an upside-down tree of creation, with our roots above and the branches below, to indicate our delusion, not knowing how the manifestation of this universe came about and our relationship with this universe and Brahman. Brahman is the only truth in this entire universe, whose glories are all-knowing, all-powerful, all-pervasive, complete and eternal, which is the Atma in all of us. Brahman is Shiva and Shakti, Tattva 1 and 2. And the rhythmic movement of Shakti, the dance of Shiva, is the cause for this entire creation. Tattva 3 is Sadashiva. The notion of a universe begins to emerge, but still in the depth of consciousness. Tattva 4 is Ishvara, the creator of the universe. As Lord Brahma, he creates. As Lord Vishnu, he sustains. And as Lord Rudra, he dissolves the universe. Tattva 5 is pure knowledge, Suddha Vidya. Ishvara creates the universe with pure knowledge, without undergoing any change. These 5 tattvas comprise pure creation. This is our roots, where Brahman has not been veiled. We are Satchit Ananda Atma. Tattva 6 is Maya, an illusion in the universe, which projects the changeless Brahman as the various aspects of this constantly changing universe. And Ishvara, with Maya under his control, creates the universe. For example, just like waves are nothing but water, it is created by water, sustained by water, and dissolves back into water. In the same manner, Brahman is Ishvara, the Atma in all, whose pure consciousness is pulsating in every atom of this universe. Even though truly we are Satchit Ananda Atma, due to our ignorance, we are limited at 3 levels. Now we are jivas. First, as jivas, we are under the control of Maya, Tattva 6. Maya is an illusion that deludes us. Number 2, the 5 clothes, Kanchukas, Tattva 7 to 11, covers us in ignorance. So all the 5 glories of Brahman are now covered. We are no more all-knowing, all-powerful, all-pervasive, complete and eternal. And number 3, at our Jiva's Purusha level, Tattva 12. Our essential nature, Swarupa, is Satya, the truth, Jnana, all-knowing, Ananta, eternal Brahma. But our prarabdha karma, which we brought forward from our previous birth to work out in this life, deludes us. This determines our 3 guna composition, to be born either as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Sudra, as the quality of our minds at birth. And from here we must work ourselves up to become jnanis. Whereas at Ishvara's Purusha level, Tattva 12, is the cause of this creation, also referred as Para Prakriti, where the divine reverberation of Shakti causes a shift in no guna, nirguna, to become the 3-fold gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Its effect is in Ishvara's Prakriti level, Tattva 13, also referred as Apara Prakriti, where the reverberation of the 3 gunas causes the 5 elements, ether, air, fire, water and earth, to manifest, first in a subtle form and then in the gross form. And from here onwards, time, space and the manifestation of this creation begins. The manifestation of this creation is governed by Ishvara's law of dharma. Everything except human beings are programmed by Ishvara's sub-divine laws called devatas. These devatas are doing their respective duties as yajna, and offering to Ishvara the law of dharma. For example, the devata of the sun gives the sun its unique quality to function. The devata of the moon gives the moon its divine quality. In the same manner, the 5 elements, the 9 planets, mountains, rivers, animals, plants, everything is programmed. From the mighty ocean to the tiniest ant are programmed by these devatas. And the sum total of all these devatas is Ishvara. This is what is meant by everything is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Vasudeva is Lord Vishnu as the sustainer of this creation. And Lord Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. That is why we Hindus, knowingly or unknowingly, worship everything in this creation as lingas. Himalaya for mountains, Ganges for rivers. We bow down with utmost devotion to everything, as every devata is Ishvara. Human birth is very precious because we are not programmed. We are given the freedom to choose. If we choose to do our prarabdha karma by doing our duties for the purification of our mind and gain the knowledge of Brahman, we become one with Brahman. We gain liberation, the purpose of human birth. Otherwise, in our ignorance, we will be doing our duties to fulfill our desires and keep going in this endless cycle of birth and death. This freedom is given only to human beings. At our Jiva's Prakriti level, Tattva 13, our three gunas as per our prarabdha karma, combining with the 5 elements, come into manifestation as our acquired nature, Swabhava. First, in its subtle form as our intellect, ego and mind, Tattva 14 to 16. And these are the places where our accumulated karmic impressions are stored. According to our past karmic impressions, we interact in this world through our skills and activities. With our 5 senses of perception, 5 powers of action, 5 subtle senses of perception, and our physical body, Tattva 17 to 36. According to our past karmas, we human beings can also be divided into 5 groups. First, we can be jnanis. When we have gained the knowledge of Brahman and have converted to wisdom, Jnana, Vijnana Yoga. Second, we can be jignasus, committed to gain the knowledge of Brahman. Third, we can be mumukshus, righteously working for wealth and pleasure. Fourth, we can be devotees in distress, worshipping to relieve ourselves from pain. And number 5, we can be asuras or free thinkers, living a life of delusion. Whichever group we belong to, all human beings have an equal opportunity to work ourselves up to be jnanis. Now let's see how Maya deludes us. For example, when we use our skill to fulfill a desire, and when we succeed, the value we project on our achievement makes us happy and egoistic. At the same time, worried. What if we are not able to repeat this success? And fearful. What if someone does better? This is how we human beings live a life of delusion, being attached to our achievements, possessions and desires, not knowing that everything under Prakriti is constantly changing and is subject to the pairs of opposites, birth and death, gain and loss, happiness and sadness. This brings about our endless emotional problems that consumes our energy and time to live in this 9-gated physical body in sorrow and delusion. When we are deluded, we go to sleep when tamoguna predominates. We wake up when Rajoguna predominates to engage in activities with attachment. And when Sattva Guna predominates, we are happy and peaceful. Shri Krishna says the only way to free ourselves from this delusion is to cross over Maya. Seek Ishvara, who has Maya under his control. Seek the knowledge of Brahman. For this, we must be jignasus. Having purified our mind and being karma yogis, now we must be committed to the knowledge of Brahman. And chapters 7 to 18 will teach us how. Chapter 7 is Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of Brahman. And by chapter 18, we will be emotionally free from the limitation of our body, mind, senses. With this, we conclude the introduction to Jnana Vijnana Yoga. And next, we are going to begin chapter 7. Om Namah Shivaya.